Feel free to ask any questions, okay, if you're struggling to understand, and that helps you. So that's very important. Okay. Yeah. So mainly we'll understand now Java OOPS concept. So where you will use in your automation. So that's the common question in the interviews. So we need to understand that part. And let me show you that. Okay. This is the one of the question. So did you implement interface in your automation? You know already what is mean by interface. So interface is just a template like a class, but it contains only abstract methods, default and static methods, right? And constants. So no constructors, so no method implementation. So that's the interface. But the question is, have you implemented? So have you created an interfaces in your so automation? So that's what the question. Maybe implementing means we already implemented some of the interfaces. So let me show you what are all the interfaces you have implemented, and I'll explain that. So we have implemented a iTest listener interface in our custom classes. iTest listener is TestNG listener name. So TestNG listener interface. So this is an interface which is a listener, in the TestNG. And this iTest listener interface have a lot of methods. So all the methods are implemented in your own class. You can implement in your own class. So what are all the iTest listener interface methods are? So these are the things. On finish, iTest context. So this is invoked after all the tests have run and all their configuration methods have been called. The finally on finish method will execute. And on start means so invoked after the test class is instantiated and before any configuration method is called. Before any configuration method is called. On test failed, but within success percentage. Within success percentage. So this is not used much, but okay. So that's the one of the method, and mostly used one. Okay. On test failure. On test failure is so invoked each time a test fails. So you don't need to write, for every test case, right? The listener will listen that, and this annotated method, this method will be triggered automatically. This method will be automatically executed if any test fails. Whatever you write under this method, that code will execute. So here we have a concept like, on test failure only you want to take a screenshot. That's a common scenario we have in our automation. So that taking screenshot code you can put inside this method. Then if any test case fails, automatically screenshot will be taken. On test skipped. So invoked each time a test is skipped. If any test case is skipping, then this method will be invoked. on test start. So this method is invoked each time before a test will be invoked. So test means @test method. So @test method invocation before this on test start method will be executed. On test success. So this method will be invoked if the test case is successful. So after the test case is successful, what you want to execute, then you can place that code inside this on test success. So these are the methods of iTest listener. All these methods we are going to implement in our custom class. That's what the answer you have to give. Just give few so interfaces that you can implement them. So next question, where you have used Java OOPS concepts in your automation framework or in your automation? That's a general question you used to get it. Okay. And let's see one by one. So what are the Java OOPS concepts? We have encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, right? These are the Java OOPS concepts. So let's discuss one by one. Encapsulation. So where we have used encapsulation in your automation. So as I already discussed this point yesterday when we were discussing a page object model design pattern, right? So every page class follows the encapsulation concept. Every page class follows the encapsulation concept. The page objects are declared as private and the respective element methods are declared as a public. So this is the encapsulation means. So next we have inheritance. Inheritance. So all your test base class is extending to any of your test classes. So that's how you know this inheritance is used. So you can see public class search test extends test base class. So what will happen at test base class inside methods, you don't need to write again in the child class. So that's where you know our browser initialization, everything you can write in the test base, and you can just extend the base class to child class, and obviously you don't need to write that browser initialization application URL. Every class you don't need to write. So that saves a lot of time for us. So that is this so extends keyword, that is the inheritance basically. So this is the one. See, my test base class is extending to WebDriver utility methods. That is also another inheritance. Every page class will extend to WebDriver utility class. And see, like public class WebDriver utility extends test base. And again, page class, home page extends WebDriver utility. See, this is the multi-level inheritance, right? Base class is a parent of WebDriver utility. WebDriver utility is the parent of home page. So now home page can access test base class methods, WebDriver utility class methods. So that is the inheritance concept. And interface. So interface already we discussed, but again, so one more you can discuss. So WebDriver is an interface. WebDriver is an interface. So WebDriver abstract methods are implemented in remote WebDriver class. So WebDriver is an interface. All WebDriver abstract methods are implemented in remote WebDriver class. So we are overriding the WebDriver methods in all the browser classes and a remote WebDriver class. Remote WebDriver class directly extends to WebDriver, right? So in this class inside, WebDriver methods are implemented. And basically, this is following method overriding concept, right? Method overriding concept. So here, many other interfaces are there. So if they ask you what are all the different interfaces, WebDriver is one of the interface you can give. Wait, another interface. JavaScript executor, another interface. Action, another interface. Alert, another interface. Takes a screenshot, another interface. These are all interface names in WebDriver. Okay. So the interface part is done, encapsulation part is done, inheritance part is done. Now, polymorphism. So polymorphism, so you can see WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. So this is following runtime polymorphism. So this is following runtime polymorphism. As I already mentioned, the parent of this one is a WebDriver. WebDriver reference variable pointing to the child class objects. So that's a runtime polymorphism, right? And then method overloading means actions class methods are following. So actions class is basically following method overloading concept, overloading. So every method is overloaded in actions class. Click with empty parameters, click with web element parameter. Context click with parameter, context click with web element. And also expected conditions class methods also following method overloading concept. So element to be clickable. So by dot locator, locator value. So that means by data type. Element to be clickable, web element type. Web element, element. Web element, element. So these are the some of them. So, but you can see a lot of almost all the methods are overloaded in the expected conditions class. Okay, so these are the some of the methods you can tell, and also other than this existing methods, did you write your own methods? They will ask. So you can tell takes a screenshot, capture a screenshot. One we have written, right? So driver capture a screenshot web element. Same name, but parameters are changing. And also you can put frame, switch to frame methods. You can tell that all these are I developed, and you can tell that. So there is nothing wrong, don't scare. Okay, so that just functions, creating a function, Java functions. If you scare, you cannot answer any questions. So just, tell confidently, yes. So these are the functions I contributed to my utility class. So this is a framework level contribution. You can tell, are some reusable methods, anything it comes in your mind, you can tell that. So there's nothing wrong. They are not coming and see, right? So you have to answer in a valid way. That's enough. So that's all about method overloading and method overriding. Yeah. So that's the main interview question they're asking widely. And creating Maven project, we'll see that. Okay. We'll see how to. These are all we'll go and see this. Let's create a Maven project. You can also open and do along with me so that it will be useful for you. And I have given so all the libraries how to add. I have shown you here, and we'll create a Maven project, and then I'll show you the different packages, how to do. Okay, all those packages. How can we do different packages? I'll show you that. Then what are all the libraries you need your dependencies in the form.xml? I have given already here. If you click them, automatically it will take you to that website. So you don't need to struggle also. And third step, I have very clearly mentioned everything. So we'll see all this, okay? So clearly given the code also here. But I suggest better you go for the GitHub. First, we'll know. Do you have all GitHub accounts in your own GitHub accounts?
Yeah, I have it, Ramesh.
I don't have, Ramesh.
So you just create this. It doesn't take much time. So open github.com.
Mm.
So you can go here. Let me log out. Yeah, so I can log out. Yeah, so this is the one, right? It's easy, okay? Just click on sign up. And GitHub is a repository tool. It's a cloud web application where you can store your code. That's a GitHub. Git is a version control tool. Please remember all these tools. Maven is a build tool. So what it will do, it will build your project. It will compile your project. It will download all the required jar files to your project. So it will create a jar file out of your entire code. So that's a Maven tool will do that. And form.xml is the heart, of entire Maven project. So you can tell we can declare all the dependencies, configurations, build section, project information will be there in the form.xml. So that's if you can explain that, that's good enough. Okay. And then Git. Git is a version control tool. So you want to maintain the versions. So each change done by the developers and testers, you want to manage those versions. Why do you want to manage the versions? So we don't know, right? Which code is correct, which code is not correct. If you want to revoke your bad code or you want to promote your code, all this history should be maintained. To maintain all these things, you need a history maintained tool, that is a version control tool, that is called Git. GitHub. So GitHub is a web application, a cloud web application where you can store all your code. You can store all your code. That's the web application, right? So here, why you need to store? There is a private cloud, private repositories will be there, public repositories will be there. Public repository means anybody can go and see that code and you can use it. And private means is all companies' code generally it will be private. So nobody can see. Only authorized people can see and they can work on that. The permission will be given by administrators. So our DevOps team has these permissions, access, providing the access to the team members. So this is how you need to create a simple account. You can just provide the email, then it will ask you password and a few more steps will be there. That's it. Then you can create the GitHub account. So not very complicated, very easy one. Okay. So just try to create this one simple GitHub account. So then so I'll show you our code so that you can some ready-made code will be there. So you need to copy that from there, the latest code, because I already pushed my code to GitHub. So that code we can take it from there. So that's why we need to have one GitHub account. You can use your personal email and give the right. So just I'm creating a random just for you. So then it will ask a password. Maybe it is checking. Email is invalid. already taken, right? That's the, so I have already with this, that's why it is. So like that, you can create one more, okay? If you have a Priya, so we can, so you can create, otherwise if you can create later, it's up to you, okay? And so I'm just logging in. So it will log in like this. And you can see this is the January one, but you can just go and you can see all your repositories. You have so many repositories here. You can see, right? All the repositories you can now find out here. Show more activity. So you can find out here. See, this is the August hybrid framework. So the BDD style rest assured framework. So there are 7 commits are here. You can just use this. August one is the latest one. And here you can see the main branch. And this is the repository name. This is the repository name. And all the code is available. Okay. So all the code is available here. So this code, and we are going to use, I'll show you that. I'll show you how to use this. I'll explain that. Let's go and create the first Maven project. Maybe you can keep this, okay? You can keep this in somewhere notepad, you can store it. It will help. So it will be very helpful when we are just taking the whatever the common code, the common where you don't need to write the code. So that code you can, so take it from here. So the latest code, right? It will be good. Okay. So then, so now let's open Eclipse. We'll create a Maven project. Okay. So let's go and create a Maven project. I'm closing all this. So let's create a Maven project. How to create a Maven project? Go to File, New Project. File, New Project. Select File, New Project. So here you search for Maven, okay? If you don't find here, just in the select wizard, search for Maven. You'll get only Maven. Okay? So in the Maven project, you select the Maven project here. Select Maven project. Okay? Click on Next. Click on Next. So check this create a simple project option you choose. And next, click on Next button and give the group ID. Okay? Give a group ID. So group ID, artifact ID, version. So group ID you can give, and we are automating this website. Okay. Ramesh QA online. So this one. This is the one we are going to automate. And we can use this. Just play around with all the test cases, whatever we want. So we can write multiple test cases with this website, and we are going to use this. Okay. And so that's why I'm going to give open cart. So hybrid framework, right? Open cart hybrid framework. Open cart hybrid framework. So maybe if you want, you can give the November 2023. So artifact ID, if you want, you can give a different, but I am giving a same one. There is no change here. That's all. And version you don't need to change. You want a jar file, you can select the jar file and keep it this version and package same. Okay, you don't need to change that. And nowhere, you can fill anything not required. Okay, just click on finish. That's it. Okay, so click on finish. See, now it created open cart hybrid framework November 2023. If you expand this, you can see ready-made structure. You will get automatically the folder structure. SRC main Java, SRC main resources, SRC test Java, SRC test resources. And SRC folder, target folder, pom.xml. So these are all the structure you will get. So by default. So by default, you will get all this structure. So that is what this so this is how you will get a by default everything predefined. So basically SRC main Java, SRC main resources, generally developers will use to write their code, application code. And SRC test Java, SRC test resources are used for writing the test cases, either unit test cases or functional test cases, anything you want to write. Test cases, you can use this SRC test Java, SRC test resource. Resources are nothing but configuration files, something like that. Data files you can keep under this resources folder. So that's the generally people will use, or you can write here also your code. If the framework is only for testing, you can write either SRC main Java inside or SRC test Java inside. So there is no harm. So if it is combined with the development code, then so generally so their SRC main Java below, developers will write the code, and SRC test Java below, the test cases will be available. All the test code you can write there. So that's how you can So design the framework. So we'll come back to this part. First, we need to design this form.xml. Let's go and design the form. And one more thing, JRE system library, you need to change. Now it's 1.5, right? You need to change to your own. So whatever the JDK you are using, that JDK you have to install. So already in your system it is there, but you have to bring it to this project. How to bring that project? First, let me explain this. Maybe we have so less time. We can finish this. Then we'll add all the dependencies under this form.xml. So if you want to add your own new JDK to your project, so what you need to do is right click on the project name, build path, configure build path. Click on configure build path, project name, you right click, then build path, then select configure build path. So then under libraries, so you choose JRE system library, just double click on that. So then it will open a library. System library will open. Select, you have here already JDK 11, you can select, right? JDK 11, but that's not the one, right? We have to show exactly. So this is the JDK 11, but if you don't have JDK 11, how to install it? How to bring to here? Then click on install JREs. This is the one I have, right? C program file Java JDK. But how to add this? If you don't have a different one, if you have, so click on add standard VM. So go to click on directory and go to the C drive. Program files. So Java JDK. That's it. Only this folder you add. So automatically it will add. So the array name is already in use because I already added. So now you will get this option and so you can add it. This is how to add your program files Java JDK if you don't have. So I have, that's why I'm not adding. Okay. So this is the path my JDK is available. Then you can apply and close and finish and apply and close. See, now we got our own JDK. This is how you can add so JDK to your project. So current JDK you can add. So how to add? One more time I'm just showing. Right click on the project, build path, configure build path, and just double click on the JRE system library and select alternate JRE. And if you don't find here your version, then click on install JREs, then click on add, next, add the so JRE home path. Let's see program files, Java, JDK 11. So that you need to add here and it will show here. Okay. Are we good?
Yes, Ramesh. Ramesh, why we are changing this JDK?
Because it is showing old Java, right?
So now
Okay.
it's JDK 17, right, Ramesh?
What JDK you have in your system?
Can I share my screen, Ramesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm using IntelliJ. It's a different in IntelliJ.
Oh, you have to go to projects, settings will be there. There is a file settings will be there. There you can add your local whatever you have. So yeah, let me give the share
Yeah.
access. Yeah, you can share now. I'm not sure how long it will come.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead quickly, share it.
Yeah, I'm sharing with you, Ramesh. One second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, now go to file,
Okay.
file settings,
Okay.
settings, and you have a not appearance. You have to come to build and execution is there, right? Build execution, expand that bottom side. In the left hand side, you can say
Yeah,
build.
The execution and deployment, this is the one.
At that one. Can you expand that?
Mhm.
Can you expand that?
Yeah, I expanded that, Ramesh.
Oh,
Build it.
it's a very slow. It is still I can see appearance only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to see now, Ramesh?
Not yet.
No, Swati.
I think network issue. There you have option to add your Java.
Mhm.
So that you can add.
Here it is build tools.
So I need to see that build.
Are you able to see now,
It
Ramesh?
is still in the appearance only.
Okay. Appearance and behavior down, it